Okay, all right. So good morning, programmers. Now, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our session today. So for today, we are going to discuss about the some applications of arrays. So when we talk about some of the applications of arrays are we in arrays we are able to sort our data. We are able to, but in terms of sorting algorithm, or yeah, when we talk about sorting algorithm, we get to arrange the data in order. But well, Uh, let's reserve that discussion in data structures, no, and algorithm. Okay, so let's have other way or other example. So we have here we have linear searching. Okay, so linear searching is a way to visit the elements of each loop, and then when we get to visit the elements of each loop, we are going to uh, yeah, visit and then look for a certain value. So once a value is found, it is returned, something like that. Okay, and then yeah, other applications like to find the highest, the lowest, and those are pretty much easy, no. I mean, we've already uh, discussed that one. In even without arrays, we are able to arrive that we are able to create a program even without array, or get a or determine the highest or and the lowest value even without arrays. Okay, so now let's have here a, let's say, num, and let's get to initialize only arrays. Okay, so let's say we have here 12, 45, 89, 10. So okay, uh, wait lang for a while. So let's say for an instance, we have these elements now initialized into our arrays, and we can do a lot of applications. I mean, we can do a lot of things for this now, like to determine the all elements that are odd numbers, elements that are even. Like we can also get the value, the lowest value, the highest value, or we look for a certain value. Okay, so yeah, so for an instance, we are going to look for the lowest value. So okay, lowest. Okay, so let's say to do that, we'll need to declare something variable, like third variable, to hold for the, or to assume that the lowest value is the first index, and then we get to compare that to the other elements. So let's say we have num and then 0. So we assume that the lowest value is uh, num 0, or at index 0, and then after that, the lowest value is going to to be compared with the all other elements, and after it is compared, after it is compared to the rest of the elements, or to every element of our array, it will be when it is true, the lowest element will be changed, or will be, will be replaced by that value. Okay, so to do that, we'll have here, let's say, start now with I. So let's say, I mean, we'll have the I to represent the index, and then we have here, sorry, I, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have here 8, and then let's say I plus plus. So after that, so to at least, no, parang what we call this one, to lessen the time complexity. I mean, in terms of the data structures and algorithm, we'll need to, in creating a program, we'll need to decrease the time limit now for our of our program to process the like parang pag-compare. But again, we cannot get rid of that, especially if our program is not efficient in a way of looking for a certain value. Kumbaga, in layman's term, if there is a way that we could make our program na medyo ma-lessen niya ang number of times na mag-loop siya or ang number of times na mag-ano siya, we will do that. Okay. So let's say since we already have the like lowest and then we would like to know if the next value to it is saan pwede ta mag-start by 1, no? Na lang, na lang. Kasi again, lowest is 12. It's assumed already that it is less than, it is the lowest value. So we have here num, and then I. Okay? And then if it is true, then we are going to get the value of, um, the lowest will get the value of num I. So meaning to say when it is compared, let's say for an instance, 12 is the first value, this one. This is 12. So it's 12 less than 45, which is the num1. So is 12 less than 45?
Yes, sir.
Ay, dapat greater din, Is 12 greater than 45? That's true. So meaning to say, sorry. Yeah, it's 12 greater than 45. That's false. And then dapat greater ta, giusab na nako. So it's 12 greater than 45. That's true. Ay, that's false. Okay, saba, naunsa naman ko. And then that's false, meaning the lowest is still 12. So 12 is greater than 89. That is false. Is 12 uh, greater than 10? Is 12 greater than 10? Everyone, is 12 greater than 10?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's true, no? So 12 is greater than 10. So therefore, since true, the value of lowest will be changed to unsa na? 10. Okay? Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, very good. So the lowest value now is 10. So is 10 greater than 50? This one is
False.
false. Okay, for 100 false pa rin. How about 13? False
False pa rin.
gihapon. Okay, false pa rin. So 150 false pa rin, no? Even if naakay mga values dira and then if the 10 which is the lowest or assumed to be the lowest is still the lowest value in our array. So dili na siya mapulihan og other value. So that is why our lowest is 10. So false na na for all the rest. If in case na naatay bagong value dire, let's say for an instance, ana, okay? And then, syempre, 10 is 10 greater than 5? Of course, it's true. Therefore, the lowest will be changed to 5. Okay? And then let's say we have 20. So it's 5 greater than 20. So this is false. So meaning 5 will remain the lowest value. So mao to ang process sa loops. Okay? So let's say for an instance, we can now say the lowest value is lowest. So we can also do the same for highest. Okay, so only that you will just need to what you call this one, change this to uh, less than. But depending on sa imuhang ano, let's say for an instance, pwede man nimo siya inani if num I is less than something like num I is less than lowest, meaning every value sa array, okay, is compared if it's greater than lowest. If it's true, pulihan nimo si lowest. just in case no in ana imuhang condition. Okay? Sige. So now if we get to run the program, okay, yan. So let's run muna. So the lowest value must be 5. Ayan, the lowest value is 5. Ayan. So let's say we are going to yeah, any questions so far? Nabay question?
Sir, ano yung I sa bracket?
Ay, ase, sorry. Na I sa bracket.
Oh.
So kane-kane.
Yung sa ano yun, sir?
Kane-kane.
Opo, sir.
Sa arrays po. Wala, nag-discuss na tag-array, wala pa.
Wala pa, sir.
YouTube na, sir.
Are you sure?
Yung sa
Yes,
YouTube,
sir.
sir.
Sa
Wait
YouTube
lang.
lang tamo. Sa YouTube lang tamo na-discussan. Sa YouTube lang. Nakaano
wala.
kong array. Pero wala pa ko nag-discuss formally sa inyong array.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yung
sir.
advanced study lang minimal, sir.
Lab 3 naman, sir,
Okay.
kay Array.
I see. So wala pa. Okay, kaya pala nang hilo mo or say wait. Nganong na-advance ko sa ano? Uban. Sige, wait, sige. Or nata isa klase wa nag-meet. Or I don't know. Wala, nalibog na lagi ko. Anyway, sige. Balik ta sugod. Okay, sige. Alright. Speaking of array, keep advance na dito mag-study. Sige. Let's talk about arrays. So, as in, wala jud. Pero nagtanaw mo ato sa YouTube.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sige. What do you understand so far in arrays? So far lang sa inyong mga na-remember sa katong gipatan-aw nako sa inyo ha.
Ano, sir? Para siyang set. Yung set
Okay.
of numbers siya.
Okay. No, usually no numbers, oo, pero pwede gyapon siya string, pwede gyapon siya characters. Okay. So arrays, okay, or array is it's actually a data structure in which you get to arrange the number of elements in order. No, not number but not number na literal number, but the parang elements, ano na lang, elements or the data in a particular order. So in the order of course, it is placed in a contiguous part of memory. So when we talk about contiguous, it is one value beside the other value, and it is going towards the last element. So meaning to say, when you get to store element to an array, so the first one is stored at the first index. So let's talk about index later on, and then um, the next value to it is the next value that is going to be stored to that is beside that value. Pwede siya on the other index, but it would be better if you arrange your elements in that particular order. So pasunod siya, okay? So yeah, so arrays or array is a data structure that is defined by only one type. Now, only one type lang siya. Kung integer, integer lang. Kung double, double lang. Okay, kung string, string lang. Kung character, character lang. So it is fixed. You will have to define the size. So when the size of array is 10, it is always 10. When the size of array is 50, it has to be 50. So however, in C++, if you're going to declare an array of size 10 and nalapas ka by, let's say, nag-access ka with the index na abot kag index 50, ang problem lang with arrays or arrays in C++ is that the C++ cannot catch the value, no, dili niya ano ang error. So because in array here is it's sana i-process gyapon ni C++, but in terms of kung sa Java nato siya unsa na sa Java nato siya Java na array, it is thrown as an error. Anyway, but pag mag-array index out of bounds na ta, I'm going to show you later on. So, array is fixed with a single type only, and the data is, or the data are placed in a contiguous part of your memory. So that's array, no? Now, arrays are are one of the most important programming constructs because it is you are actually allowed to store data as you're allowed to store data, no? Like, I mean, normal variable can store data, but you cannot store data as many as you can. So let's say for an instance, in my I guess in the video tutorial that I created, there I have discussed there a scenario where you if ever you are going to add 10 numbers. So kung wala kay array na idea, probably you will declare 10 variables. Tama ba? Kung mag-add ka or kwaon mo ang sum sa 10 numbers, 'di ba probably kung wala ka idea of array and loop, probably unsay buhato nato are we going to declare 10 variables in our program? Tama?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree? Okay, very good. So, yes, we declare 10 numbers or 10 variables, probably ana, no? N1, N2, N3, to N10, and then probably mag-declare na pud ta maghimo na pud tag statement na enter a number or enter first number, enter second number, probably up to unto 10. Input and output 'yan, 'di ba? So, and then this would actually parang daghan ka itaog statements, and then just for us to get the sum. Okay? So, what if 1,000 na siya? What if 1,000 number of 1,000 ka number imuhang i-sum, or ang task is 1,000 ka numbers ang atong sana kwaon i-accept from the user. So, if that's the case, 1,000 pud ka number of variables ang imong i-declare. So, kaya ra sa loop without declaring that much. Of course, kaya sa loop, no? So, the only problem lang with loop, I want you to revisit that, no? Declare as katong array na YouTube. I have declared this. I have explained it there. So, ibaliki lang ninyo. Kung kaya sa loop, however, na ay tendency na if you're only going to use loop without array, the values are not retrievable. Not retrievable in a sense that when, 'di ba, when natay loop na natay loop na number, loop siya. Let's say we have here for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. So say for an instance, inani atong uh, program, then we'll get to na to ang sum ay mag-ano pala tag input, no? So let's say in num, and then kuhaon na to ang input from the user, which is num. So if this is the case, kaya ra siya i-solve sa loop even up to 100 pa na. Even up to 1,000 pa na. Okay? 1,000 loops po ni siya, 1,000 mga yung input. If you would like na magbutang pag input output, pwede gyapon. However, the loop stops, let's say 10, no? When the loop stops, the value that is final for number will be the last value. Do you agree? Pag mag-input ta ani sa atong loop, ang last value na ma-store sa number will be katong last value na. Tama ba? Nag-follow mo? Wala. Example ha. Okay? Sige lang. Enter 10 integers. So, Yeah. So enter 10 integers. So display na tong sum at the same time num. So basta nag-ano na siya, enter 10 integers, blah 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 blah. So this is the what happened na nung ay okay, sorry. It's num na siya din na sum. Sub. Naghatag to random number si Sam instead of i-add niya ang num. Okay? So add lang enter. So okay. If this is the okay, I would explain this one nganong naabot siya 33,062. By the way, kaning 33,062 ang gibuhat ani is naggi-assignan ni compiler siya og si Sam gininitializean siya og any other value, no? So and then sa kanya gi-add sila 34 to 354. That is why inana ka taas iyang numbers, no? I mean inana ka dako ang numbers na gisab. So that is pinaka I mean that's the very reason na magbutang jud ta or mag-initialize tag value, especially if we do calculations. Okay? Sige. So let's get to run again our program. But depende sa compiler, na uban compiler na mo read siya or okay siya. So like sa Java murag i-cater to siya pero you'll just have to practice initializing your variables. Yeah. So this one is the correct sum of our number. So all of these numbers, ang iyang sum is 220. And then, kung kaning nakita nyo 4 po ni ang last na value that is entered in the num. So every now and then mag-loop siya, ma-replace siya. Okay? So we are able to solve the problem. However, the same with what we did earlier, I mean the same of what I actually explained to you earlier na kung mag-add ta og 10 numbers, kung walay loop, declare jud ka og enter 10 integers tapos kaning in 10 times pod and then you have 10 variables para maging storage niya. Okay? However, if sa loop i-loop lang nimo siya with the 10 times and then one statement na lang and then sum ka with every number and then you're able to get the sum. However, the problem here, it's not a problem but just in case na naay bagong requirements or specification on to you, no, before you, let's say na I task na i-ano sa program na what if I want to retrieve, no, mao jud ang key sa array man god, no, the data must be retrievable. What if I want to retrieve the number entered in the fifth times or in the fifth loop, no, katong ika-fifth. So dili na nimo to ma-retrieve because it's already replaced by the value after that. And then the last value or for the last two loop nag-enter ka og value, let's say katong 4, mao na to ang ma-recognize as last value of num. So you're not able to retrieve anymore these numbers. So that is why kailangan na tog array for this one. So si array, ang ano ni array is you're able to retrieve or fetch the data. So because it is stored in a unique address. So unique address for array is what we call index. Okay, so let's say for an instance, we're going to convert this into an array. All you just need to do is put a delimiter bracket. So once you see a bracket inside or beside a number, we can consider it as an array. Okay? So right here, we declare the array to be of size 10. So meaning to say, the array of size 10 would have an index of 0 to 9. So naa siya 10 unique address. Okay, addresses. So unsa na mga addresses, sir? Let's say makaya ba ning ano? Dili na to siya. ah Ani na lang, dili na lang ko. So we have, let's say here, let's say this is these are the addresses. Okay. Na to eh. So this would create 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ayan. So this is num. So si num now would create 10 memory address for each of the element it is going to be stored there. So, and this would start at index 0. So index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, index 6, index 7, 8, and 9. So by the way, say array is fixed. It's an index-based structure. So you get to store the data in a unique memory address. We call that unique memory address as index. So kani siya morning index niya. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's the only way you can retrieve the data from your array. So meaning to say, if I'm going to retrieve the fifth element of my array, it's going to be the index 4. Okay, so if I'm going to retrieve the index at index 8, so index 8 mao ni siya. So that index 8 will be the ninth number kasi nag-start ta with 0. Okay, array by the way starts always with 0 index. Okay, so there's nothing you can do for that. Array will always store data at the first index. I mean, in a sense na because array is defined as in a sense that array always starts with the index 0, but you can always start storing at 1. I mean, pwede man ka mag-start sa 1, no? So like mag-start ka sa 1, you don't want 0 to have a value being stored. Pwede naman. So meaning to say, the next time around na mag-input ka of value to your array, okay, inana. So let's say enter 10 integers, ibutang na lang nato na siya dire. And then i-store mo siya with in your array, so it will be stored in there. But this time since we start at 1, okay, our loop with 1, our I with the value of 1, of course, it is going to start with index 1. So the array 0 or index 0 is going to be left no value. But sa C++, naa siya value. Okay? Naa siya value pero random value. You are not the one who give the value. Okay? So, ang maghatag sa value will be the compiler. So, siya ang maghatag og random value na any random value na within the constraint of integer. So before that, I'm talking a lot of things. Any questions so far, clarification? So it's your time now to ask me questions, whatever you would like to ask before I'll proceed with other examples. I'm sorry if nag-start ko with katong ganina. So, but I just hope na sabtan to ninyong sa lowest and highest. So dito ninyo na sabtan na that you're able to, retrieve the data uh, data or elements in your array that are already stored there. Okay. Sige, question sa. Good thing you ask question. So inumata. Sinumata man to, no?
Sir, ano yung I, sir?
Ano yang I? This one? Okay. Si
Hindi ba
I
yung,
is
yung naka-bracket, sir? Yung
yes,
naka-bracket.
this one. Okay. This would tell our compiler that we are accessing the index indices of our array as the, di ba? Ang I nato gigamit nato siya as the loop counter variable. Tama ba? Do you follow? So, di ba si I gigamit nato as variable for starting with for na mag-loop siya from 0 to 9, tama? 'Di ba ang anoan is 0 to 9, tama? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
Am
Yes,
I
sir.
right? Inumata?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, okay. 'Di ba this one will loop even if without array tapos i-display nato ni nga kung i-display nato ni na ang loop, I mean C out tapos I, 'di ba ang value ani kay 0, 1 to 9, okay? So if i-run nato ni siya 0, 1 to 9. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, 0 to 9. Okay, that's it. Now, instead of i-display lang nato siya 0 to 9, we use the I, okay, we use the I to represent as the index of that array. And we're trying to, okay, and our program is trying to use that, or not trying, but it's actually using it to store, to represent the unique address, which is the index. So meaning to say, whenever the user enters a number here, let's say 56, so num I, meaning num 0, which is the first loop, no, the first value will be stored into at index 0, which is num 0, will be stored to 56. So meaning to say, right here must store C56. You follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next example, mag-ano na po siya 78. Enter na po 78. So index value nato no, karon would be unsa naman 1 na po, di ba? Okay? And then 78 na po ang ma-store sa num1. So this time, ma-store na po siya diri si 78. Okay, ato asa ning A. So nanay storage, nanay value si num1. So si num2 na pod. So mag-increase na pod atong loop by 1 because nana man ang nature sa loop, no? Sa 0, 1, mahimo na po siyang 2, enter na pod kag data 90. So 90 na pod ang ma-store sa index 2. So ma-store na po na siya dito sa imong storage na array, which is 90. Okay, question. Did I answer the question, Inumata?
Opo, sir.
Okay. So you maybe you're asking about sir, pwede ba instead of I, is that also part of the question? Like pwede ba instead of I'm going to use A? Is that part of the question na gusto nimo i-ask, or okay na ta sa
Opo, sir.
pwede, no? So if you're going to use A instead of I, of course you can always do that. Only that you'll have to replace it with A. So I is just a variable that you defined for your loops para ang imuhang index is going to, I mean imuhang value sa index will be visited, no? Like starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kasi dili ta pwede mo ingon na constant value of 0. Kasi if constant value of 0 atong ibutang dira, ang 0 will be always will have the always the parang assignment of a value or a number. So kung mag-store ta, kung mag-loop ti siya, no matter nag-loop ta, pero since nagbutang ka constant value dira na 0, si 0 lang mabutangan og value. Okay? If 1 lang po na dira, si 1 lang po. Kung 2 na dira, si 2 lang po. So meaning si 2 lang perminti nimo mabutangan og value. No, si 1 lang kung 1 lang na mabutang value. That's why nagbutang ta dira og A, because A is dynamic, no? So kumbaga naga-change iyang value over a period of time, every loop cycle. So which is 0 to 9, which is exactly the same sa gina-require ni array. So which is to I believe in my own opinion, no, I mean sa ko lang ni that arrays are married to loop. Kumbaga, uh, it's best to partner array to loop or to partner array with loop. So partner jud na siya. Okay? So of course, na instances na dili nimo kailangan i-partner but normally like for an instance mag-input tag value, mag-store tag value to your array, it would be best na magamit ka og loop. Okay, sige, question. You have any other question?
Sir, parang daw ko sa program, sir. For
Sige.
output, sir.
Okay. Run na to ang program. So this time, i-run na to ang program. So with using array, it is again the same with the other variables. However, you now need to put a bracket and with the index in between of that delimiter bracket. Okay, so let's get to run the program. Sige, sorry, mali ato ang output na enter 10 integers pero sagdi na lang sana. Sige, anyway. Yan. So, the same thing lang yang buhaton. Kwaon niya ang sum. Okay, mo nang sum or ang sum of all numbers that you have entered. Okay, so i-change natin siya. Enter. Let's say we will use the num karon. Okay. Num. Let's say A. Para murag array siya style na na-store siya sa kana na array. Ayan. And then, buta to the sum. Yan. So, yeah. Okay. So, the program is again the same with the early program that we had using only loop without using array. However, the advantage of this one is of course, I mean, what I'm trying to actually elaborate here is that kung inato ang requirement na makastore ka og kung inato ang requirement na mag-sum lang ka og numbers, kaya ra sa loop without array. But what I'm showing you, what I'm actually elaborating here is that what I am actually giving emphasis here is that when in terms of array, though na-solve, kaya ra i-solve ni loop, but in terms of array, the best or the good thing about array is that any time pwede nimo mabalikan ang values. Okay, like for an instance, 0, I less than 10 man no, so we have I plus plus, and then I wanna know I wanna get the values or the all the elements or all elements which are um, even, let's say num 0 modulus to 2 ay num 0 num I di I sorry modulus to 0. Okay, and then I want to display it right here. So I can always do that. No? So meaning na-retrieve na ko to. Katong numbers input na ko sa akong arrays, matawag gyapon nako right after even nakuha na nako ang sum. Okay? And that is something that you cannot do with just plain loop and with plain variable lang, na single variable lang, na isa lang, na wala kay storage. So imagine array as ano, as a container, no? Imagine array as a container na dili lang basta na ni. Imagine variable as a container, isa lang siya. Okay, let's say yung tag glass o isa lang ka glass. Okay, so isa lang po na siya ka glass, meaning mao lang na. That's one plain variable. And then if you're going to replicate that class into multiple times, let's say 10 times, you're going to create another 10 times of that glass, no? The same with the same with the glass na katong glass, which is replicating it replicating another glass, looking this to look this I mean looking the same with kato sa kato na glass is which is na nakakaroy mga another container. So that's one variable each. Okay? Now, what if you're going to create a container or isa ka ano lang container na nana dito tanan ang storage niya or nana dito tanan ang glass ibutang nimo, which is you can store data in just one single sana. Or sige na lang, ano na lang, imagine array as like your cabinet, no? So cabinet ba or baggage counter kana sudlanan ganig bag sa kanang moadto kag mall tapos na ay baggage counter dira, and then magbilin kag bag, di ba na ay mga numbering sa baggage, then each block there kay na ay equivalent number na ibutang dito with your bag. So mabutang dito siya sa baggage. And then mao to imong unique number. So meaning mao to ang imuhang unique na that's your unique number where your things is or are located. So which is unique to siya para sa imo. The moment you claim it, the moment nakwaon to nimo, it's of course ma-claim nimo siya because it has a storage. Now what if walay baggage counter na ana? I mean walay container, something like that. Walay address, walay unique number ni hatag sa imuha. Magbilin kag baggage, ibutang lang siya dito, and then walay baggage na katong nakabutang na box. I mean itapok lang siya dito. Walay gihatag na number, walay gi-assign na number. So it would be difficult for the baggage staff to give back the things na or sa butang na gibilin sa ato sa mga sa customers. Okay? So right here butang nato ay nakuha class, do you follow? Ay, kulang isa. Sige. You can ask questions. Sige, enter numbers 10, 23, 48, 19. So the sum is what happened? 300. Yeah. Ang sum is 300. Kaning 12, 48, 10, 32, 34, 100. It means to say these are the process numbers or the process na kaning second loop na to, which is i-display niya ang tanan even lang. So if you try to look at it, all even numbers like 12, 48, 10, 12, 34, and 100, yan, are all even numbers. The rest kay 19, 23, 19, and 23, balik-balik lagi ni, are odd numbers, therefore wala siya gi-appeal. Okay? Sige. Any questions so far? If wala jud nakuha ang array, imagine if ang tray sa itlog walay gani kanang hole, just to ang egg na asyay unique na unsa na position. Okay, so imagine if ang tray walay unsa na kanang single sa tray sa egg, kana ganing sa mall lang, ayaw ng tray nga kanang multi-dimensional siya. So kato multi-dimensional array po to siya, pero kanang one tray lang, kakuan mo ng tray sa egg na naay box naka plastic siya, kanang rectangle ang like 12 siguro ang sulod or 6. Familiar mo ana?
Dili katong nasa carton, sir, katong kuan.
Karton ka na.
Sa plastic, sir.
Kana sa plastic ba nga isa
Sa
ka linya
plastic
lang. Kana
sir.
isa ka linya lang gani, kana isa ka linya.
Yes, sir.
Kana isa ka linya. Imagine ninyo na what if nakay container pero wala naka-divide ang sana walay division na mabutang nimo ang egg, what will happen to your egg? If you are going to imagine it, unsay mahitabo sa imong egg?
Magdikit, mabuak.
Mabuak, sir.
Probably magdikit. I mean mabuak literally, pero what happened to your egg? Wala siya specific na container, dili nimo ma-arrange sila in a way na gusto nimo dapat ma-arrange because walay walay sana placement, walay arrangement. So mao nang idea sa array, no? It is used to arrange the data. Okay, you arrange the data in that particular order with just single container. So if it has division, then the eggs now are properly placed in a particular position. So inana si array, no? Just like kanino, parani oh. So imagine if these are eggs. So nabutang siya in a particular or in a position na safe and okay sila. Okay? Imagine a closet, no? A cabinet na walay division. What will happen to your clothes?
Gubot, sir.
Very good. Gubot pod, no? Dili nimo siya ma-arrange in that particular ano. So the good thing about having an array as a programming construct, it's you're able to organize your numbers kasi naka-arrange sila in that particular order and it would be very easy for you to access them. So imagine your closet na naa siya divisions na ma-arrange nimo o kani though sa atong closet, sa atong cabinet, syempre dili jud of equal size ang ano no, dili of equal size tayo sa pang hanger na pang ano, but regardless of that fact, it is almost the same that when there is division in our cabinet or kana sa atong closet, you can always arrange your things there. That's the idea of array. Okay? Sige. Any question? And there's actually a lot of things, no? If there's actually a lot of real world na mga objects na array is based on or array I mean that particular arrangement is the influence of why array is here. Kumbaga na-influence si array based on that. Kasi syempre diha man nag-base si programmer na let's create and construct using that real world na thing or using that real world na butang ana. Sige. Unsa pa asa pa nalipog? Go ahead, ask questions no matter what it is. As long as kaya to bago nako asa man dapit libog dire unsa na part. Katong ganina unsa to atong gibuhat katong lowest and highest. Kato siya initialization to of an array, no? Initialization meaning to say nag-initialize ka og array na naa na siya values daan na dili no need na ka mag-input. Eh, syempre, di ba? Just to test your array. I mean, i-test nimo imong algorithm. Let's say i-test nako akong lowest and highest value, di sa ako mag-enter, mag-assume lang sa ako na the values are entered. Just for me to test my algorithm if it works or not. So saka na ako maghimo og input statement after okay na to akong algorithm. So, actually, inana ko mag-program. Before ko ngayog inputs, ako asang assignan og mga variables akong array and then para ma-test na ko akong algo. And then saka na ko maghimog program na mangayog input from user. Yeah. So, now, if you want to access the array or the certain value to your array, let's say for an instance, with this one, no, example lang na mauning mga gi-enter ni user. Again ha, initialization ni siya. Initialization. Kani siya declaration. So kailangan ni siya input kani kailangan ba na siya input? Pwede ka mag-input pero again mapulihan ning mga numbers diri if mag-i-inputan nimo na siya value. Meaning to say kung naa kay C in val 2 diri, mapulihan tong 2 which is 0, 1, 2, mapulihan ang 23. Let's say ni-input ka og 89. So mapulihan si val 2 og 89. And instead of 23, pag abot rin na line, mahimo na siyang 89. Okay? So yeah, that's how you let's say I'm going to access val 2. Okay, and then right here, i-change na ko si let's say val 3 into 100. So this time, i-display na ko si val 3. Okay. Ana. Okay. So let's run this one. Okay. So based sa tuang program, what happened? I see in. Right. Okay, so based on our program, we have here val2. It accesses the index 2, so which is wala tay end line. Run na to ulit. Anyway, so val2 is 23, so 0, 1, 2. So gi-change na to ang value ni val3 by 100. Supposed to be dapat 0, 1, 2, 3, 53, but this time na mo siyang 100 at line 16. So that is why val3 is now 100. So basta inanialan nyo, i-assume nyo ang array as normal variable. Okay, only that you will only declare one variable pero daghan na kag storage niya. And ang iyahang storage kay katong index which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ana siya. So imagine the index as the address, no? Unique location, unique position of your element para naa siya'y nakay basis on how you will access the values or elements. Okay? Sige. Yes, any other questions so far? Hello? Hello?
None so far, sir.
Okay lang, sir.
Nasabta na? Okay lang? Grabe, okay lang. Okay lang, sir. So, nasabta na? Wala pa? Process ha? Or unsa man? So, pwede po na ibutang nimo sa max, pwede capacity, pwede ano, and then i-replace nimo ni siya with max. And then, para the next time around, you will use max instead. Na instead of magpuli-puli ko dre every now and then, dire na lang ko mag-change. Let's say, gusto na ako 20 akong array, so all the rest will be maano siya by 20. So why? Because kani siya class. What I will elaborate here na if 5 na akong max and then let's say wait. Tapos, di ba ningon ko sa inyo ha, ang index is unique na storage ni array. So, what if ang isa ka user or in case lang na 'di ba 5 lang man taman. So, I mean 4 lang ng 0 to ang kanang 5. Okay, again ang 5 0 to 4 index na. What if niabot kag 6? What if niabot ka og nam 10. So dapat ang num nimo is 0 to 4 lang na siya dapat, no? 0 dili lang taman ang iyang storage. So naa kay num 6 ug num 10. So ang problem with using array in C++ is dili siya i-treat as an error. However, maghatag siya random values. Awa 74, 5, 6 blah 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 nya 0. If ira na to na siya balik, mag-change na iyang value, no? Kung napansin nimo naga-change iyang value, okay? Randomly given na, no? So ang range ana is 1 to 2 billion. Kumbaga, 1 to 2 billion. So yeah, so that's it. So dili siya error. Kung sa other programming, especially pag Java and Python, error siya. Sa Python, yeah, mag-error siya. So ang tawag nato na error is array index out of bounds. Pero na-compiler sa C++, I've tried it in our Borland Turbo C++ before. Katong karaan na sana. Kay error yun na siya. Pero only after i-run na to ang program, error siya. At the same mangyapon sa Java anyway. Yeah, so that's what we called array index out of bounds error. Index out of bounds di ay. So dili pwede na ang index nimo kay mulapas sa imuhang capacity sa array or storage capacity sa imong array. Dili siya pwede negative. Dili siya pwede double value like 1.5, 2.5 walay na. Whole number integer lang jud ang index. Okay, what else? Do you have any other question? Hello? Hi, guys.
Gets naman, sir.
Get na, very good. Okay. So, sige. Now, so let's have let's say i-10 na to di siya, and then, sige, kung ano to ang sum, at the same time, maghimo ta dre og linear searching, no? So, linear searching. So, mag-search lang ta. Example, we ask the user, so natay int find, so, say cout, and then, ask ni mga user, find the, enter index, sige ka na, enter, find ta by index, o find by value. Okay. So, enter value to, or enter index value. Tapos, in index. So, kani at ang ani is linear searching by index. The value at index, index, so is, so na kay searching kumbaga. So the value at index is num index. Okay? So next is the value at, let's say, mangantag another program, tag endline dire. Ang tag-isa ka endline here. Okay, so allow me to indent this one going back kasi medyo medyo na ipagka-perfectionist gamay. Gusto na ako arrange akong programs. So, yeah, so enter value to find. Enter value to find. So this time, instead of index, value ka. So, pangitaon niya kung unsay value ato. So, let's say value. And then, i-return niya unsa na index, find ba ni no? Find. Okay, so tanggalon din nato ni siya. Kay nana sa taas. Tapos ang index nato magbali ay okay na na. Okay, so magkailangan nato siya loop dire kasi pangitao nato mag-perform ta og linear searching. So let's say int lahi na pod x na pod is equal to 0, x less than max, x plus plus. So if find is equal to num x. Okay? So pwede ka mag ano na okay. System.out na noon ko. So find is found at okay index let's say x, okay, and then stop na to ang loop using break statement. Okay. Right, so enter run na to ang program. So 12, 34, 100, 89, 45, 18, 16, 17, 94, and 32. So the sum is 457. The mao ni ang even numbers. Enter index value. Let's say enter taog index 4 kani. So dapat 45 ang mugawas. So yan, the value at index 4 is 45. Wala tay is di ay. So enter value to find. So unsa inyong gusto i-find ninyo dire pangitaon? 100?
Red.
100. Sige, 100. So 100 is found at index 2. Ayan. 100 is found at index 2. So yeah, that's it. Okay. Question. Ay questions? Walay questions? Hello? Nahutan
Wala na,
ako
sir.
sige. So king walay questions, sige kana lang sa siguro karon. So nakuha class or unsa man? Nakuha na ninyo?
Ako, sir.
Nakuha na. So anyway, if you still don't if you're still not able to, grasp it, again, i-repeat lang ninyo and then na ako yung mga discussions dito. So far, ano na lang katong Array Naku. Tong Array Naku sa YouTube. Wait for a while. I-stop sa natong recording.